Can you tell me why you came out to this event today?
Well, first of all, I'm a member of the National Action Network, and I'm the co-chair of the Political Action Committee, and I've been a follower of listening to what Dr. King said for years. I grew up in the South, so I know all well about a lot of the things, the disparities that basically have happened basically to us as, African Americans, where we couldn't vote, and right now they're still basically, moving voting boxes where, we can't basically do early voting. One of the swing states had 45 boxes in different areas. Now it's down to 14, which I think is just unimaginable. Why would you want to sit back and not let people have the opportunity to put in, to be competent leadership, people who want to come in and do things basically for you and the community. So I come out every year to support, a lot of things that's going on, to learn about new things that may be happening, to sit back and, see what I can take from this and basically take back to the community, to my friends. I basically, sit on and I also co-chair another through seniors, through Easter Seals, which is the seniors, and I do all I can to make sure that they basically have food to eat, or make sure that they, if they got problems with housing, we basically try to keep them employed. Like one of the host agencies, what we do is we bring them in, we take the information and then we send them out to host agencies, and they get a little stipend. It's called training, but still, it's something to kind of keep them going and give them help with what they have coming in through like the various supplementals. So it was a pleasure to be here today, and I'm just so happy that we were able to, really kind of hear a lot of prophetic word from all the city council members and people in the community on basically, what they plan to do to keep the dream alive.
What are you hoping to see them do? What are some of the top changes that you would like to see made over
Well,
the
only because
year?
I live, I live in Jersey, but still, it's the same things that are going on, as far as, like, right now, housing. I hear, this fire that was in that apartment in the Bronx, to me, was just unfathomable because, one complaint, one of the apartments had 10 complaints behind that one apartment. So I'm looking at, if city council, everybody's here now, we're going to do this, that, and the other, but where were they? Basically when, they had no heat, they had no hot water, they were having issues basically with the doors and everything's locking. And I'm just, it's just sad that, it takes this or that situation to happen for other people to step up and do basically to me what should have been done months ago. But, like I said, it's sorry that we have to have a loss of life. I just pray that, we're going to be able to, move forward and, and stay on top of some of the upcoming issues and, get through this pandemic.
Yeah. And you were also mentioning the voting issue.
The voting issue is, I'm glad you mentioned that because, we're having a forum. And I basically do like a statement of purpose through NANPAC, because I co-chair that committee also. And some of the things that I basically kind of researched and put my little, spiel together. And, it's sad that there are various districts that are doing all they can for these people to stay in power. Like I stay in Jersey, and it basically took 20 years, you had an incumbent. But it took a truck driver who only spent $2,500 to oust a 20-year incumbent who did nothing but cause a lot of disparity in the, in the Jersey Senate. Not passing bills, voting against everything, shutting everything down. The governor was just, every time he was trying to pass legislation that, he was making sure that nothing basically got through, or, him and his friends were basically holding up. So he was Sweeney, but here in Jersey was what, Manchin and Vanderman is basically doing, down in Washington. So here you have a truck driver, and I don't say that, with any disdain or anything, but it took someone who spent $2,500 on his campaign to oust a 20-year incumbent. And so now, hopefully, people will come in and be able to see changes, being taken care of.
Right. So some of the people who are opposed to the let's say the voting rights, the push for voting rights now, are saying that there were changes made during the pandemic to the way we voted, and we should go back to the way we had it before, same-day voting, and that we shouldn't expand the voting methods the way we did in the pandemic.
Oh, no, I think we should basically keep it the way it is, because if you're talking about same-day voting, same-day voting is good, but what happens if you can't get off work? What happens if, you got to sit back and make sure your kids get school? What happens if you're a worker and you can't get that time off, or if you're like one of the overnight workers and, who stays there basically with a patient while you want to run out and vote? This is basically why we be able to make changes, because of the early voting. And like I said, like when people said Georgia was on my mind, it was a whole lot of people in Georgia that got sick and tired, and went out and stood in line and made sure that their vote basically resonated in order to bring change. And you see the gradual changes, but you still got a lot of people still not wanting change. And that's sad.
So you're kind of saying that the changes that were made during the pandemic are changes that were needed before that.
Well, they were needed, but again, like I said, like they were just saying the rent moratorium. Why would you sit back and let that basically, expire when there are so many people who are out of work? I basically, work through a nonprofit and through the Department of Labor, and I tell you, when the calls come in and people are in need, we deal mostly with people who are unemployment who basically, call in because we help them get funding for them to go to school. But the thing is, I used to also do some work downstairs in the unemployment office. So basically, what happens is, you're looking at, people are waiting for months, and still 5 months, you should have to be waiting for your check, and you can't pay your rent. One lady called me. She says, the landlord's ready to evict me. What do I do? I gave her every number that I basically had on my desk, and I said, you keep calling until someone picks up. That's why I said God is good, because someone answered the phone, was able to basically help her get through some of whatever she was going through. She called the landlord back and says, give me a couple weeks and they're going to send me my money. That's not always the case where that's happening. So what's happening is people cannot get through. People are still waiting just to get the basic essentials that they so rightfully deserve. Like in Jersey, you got to have $8,700 in your corporate. I don't know if that was supposed to go up. I don't know, because like that whole office is closed. So you mean to tell me that you basically have people that are working and no one's picking up a phone, and when you need to speak to a claim specialist, you have to basically wait for someone to eventually get back, and they're telling you dial 1, dial 2, dial 3. Why isn't someone picking up a phone and helping these people with their issues? So that's where I get a little upset, because like this pandemic has done more harm than good. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Yeah. Some people are saying that the rent moratorium was a problem for small landlords, that they're
well, I think sometimes like maybe these people are, I'm not saying they're living in like illegal apartments, because like we're having a situation now where they want to put up a 5-story apartment in a residential area. But the landlord before, like one of the senior ladies that was there, she basically wouldn't, rent. So she got sick, and her daughter put her into a nursing facility. But she sold the house. So then you had the landlord come in and make some changes. Have people paying almost $3,500 basically for rent. Fast forward, people got fed up and they moved out, and then developers approached him, and he sold out to the highest bidder. So now you got a 5-story apartment going in a residential area. What do we need that for? To have to have an apartment building in a residential area. And the thing is, underground parking. They now also basically want to put up a cannabis there. What do we need with all of that? People coming in, traffic, all the delays of traffic. You're talking about bad weather now, so basically everything's going to be shut down and moved. You're going to have to go like 2 exits to get around just to get to your house, which makes no sense to me. But still, this is basically what they're doing, what they're approving in a lot of the, now the, I say private housing, it's like a suburb area, and, it's all about money now. So it's not basically what's best for the community. It's all about developers coming in and everybody making $5. Very honest with you.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to say about this event?
Like I said, this is a yearly event, and I'm just so happy that a lot of people come out and really kind of, listen to Dr. King. I think people just need to be about more of what's going on. It's not about, reading that letter in the Birmingham jail. Why aren't you doing something? Why aren't you basically out there trying to make a difference? Why aren't you out there, listening to, what's going on? I really kind of feel sometimes faith-based needs to really kind of step up and really come out, because now, they don't really kind of, I'm not saying they do and don't want, churches to come, but I just basically see, like right now everybody's kind of like staying in their lane, and it's like, okay, we have to have a reason. I don't think you need a reason to come out and like protest or talk to people, and just do what you can. If someone comes to you and gives a need, just need. I remember people used to come by my house, and my mother, we're good. And if people needed something, she didn't have a problem with going in the refrigerator and giving you a piece of bread. Or if we basically had some extra, I remember one time I went shopping and somebody came in and wanted something, and I'm like, you're giving away my dinner. She's like, well, they need to eat, and I was like, okay. So, but these are the things, God bless me, I can bless somebody else. So peace and blessings. Okay.
Thank you.
All righty, thanks.